So we've just learned that the former president has posted that $175 million bond in the New York civil fraud case. Back here with the team. What do we know about this?
He asked for a reduction or not to have to post it at all. The appeals court said that he could post 175, which is less than half, and he had until Thursday to do it. So he's done it today, signed it today. So this is now posted. That is satisfied. So it means that the New York Attorney General's office is not going to move forward to try to seize any of Trump's assets.
Hey everyone, buckle up because the roller coaster ride of Trump's legal battles just took another unexpected turn. In a jaw-dropping twist, his whopping $464 million bond has been slashed down to $175 million. Yes, you heard that right. So be with us to know the latest situation of this fraudulent case. Now, what does this reduction mean for Trump? Well, it's certainly a sigh of relief for the former president, but does it signal the end of the accusations swirling around him, particularly those concerning alleged financial dealings with foreign powers like Russia and Saudi Arabia? That's the million-dollar question. Ever wondered why a guy who boasts about his wealth like it's going out of style suddenly can't cough up a $464 million bond? Yeah, I'm talking about Trump, the man who never shies away from flaunting his riches. But here's the kicker. His lawyers just dropped a bombshell in court. They straight up admitted they can't find anyone, not a single insurance company or underwriter, willing to help Trump post that massive bond in a civil fraud judgment case.
So, Ellie, you see this first response now from Donald Trump on the expanded gag order. Not a violation of the gag order in this response. What do you see in this?
Well, Kate, I think Donald Trump's post just now is Exhibit A as to why the gag order is perfectly fair and appropriate, because in this statement that we just saw from Donald Trump, he goes off. He goes off on the judge. He goes off on the charges against him. He says it's unfair. He says people are biased against him. And you know what? Under the gag order, he's allowed to do all of that. He didn't have to hold anything back.
Now, isn't that a head-scratcher? Stick around as we peel back the layers of this perplexing situation. How does a man known for his wealth suddenly find himself in a position where he can't pony up the cash? Let's dive deeper into this intriguing puzzle and uncover the truth together. Live news. Make YouTube great again. Subscribe now. In a stunning revelation, Trump's legal team disclosed on March 18th that securing the original $464 million bond was a practical impossibility. Despite approaching over 30 surety companies, they were met with resounding rejection. The attorneys, Alina Habba, Clifford Robert, Christopher Keese, and John Sauer, emphasized the extraordinary challenge of obtaining such a colossal bond. They pointed out that bonding companies are generally hesitant to consider bonds of this magnitude and often demand collateral up to 120% of the bond amount, potentially exceeding $500 million. The filing meticulously listed the numerous companies approached, all of whom declined to provide the bond, which ultimately turned him to foreign countries like Russia and Saudi Arabia, which might have its own consequences for U.S. in future. When queried about the prospect of receiving a portion of bond from either Russia or Saudi Arabia, the lawyer representing Trump replied with a repost that remained obviously veiled in ambiguity.
Let's start with you because you've represented and prosecuted large real estate developers before. What happens if they can't get a bond?
Yeah, and Dana, I just want to start by saying that you should know that there are a lot of Trump allies who watch your show, and they've been texting me with the argument of, one, most billionaires are not liquid. This is not that surprising. The other argument saying this is about the insurance companies, this insane amount, this is their words, not mine, in terms of the bond. These insurance companies can't get that much money, that much collateral. So there is an argument here among Trump world. But as you know, Donald Trump himself has painted himself, his entire image, not just politically, but also before that, his brand on being a billionaire. And that is why this case was so personal for him in the first.
Imagine a President Trump who owes Russia or Saudi Arabia $540 million. Contemplate the potential hazards at play. Consider a roster of entities with both the means and motivation to furnish Trump with a sum of $500 million, whether as a loan or a benevolent gesture. Russia emerges as a prominent candidate, particularly with Vladimir Putin's seemingly boundless wealth amassed over the years, despite the impediments posed by sanctions. Yet for Trump, the law appears a mere obstacle to be disregarded. Picture a scenario wherein President Trump finds himself indebted to Russia or Putin to the tune of $500 million. While Trump's inclinations toward ceding territories to Putin are evident, the infusion of such colossal funds would undoubtedly solidify their relationship, Beyond mere ideological alignment, money holds precedence over principles for Trump, potentially transforming fleeting sentiments into unwavering allegiance. So, Poland, a return to obscurity from 1795 to 1918, seems likely once more.
Following this development is with us now. Kara, what else did he have to say?
Yeah, John, so Trump with this new post today, and as you said, he toes the line here. He's continuing to attack the judge, but he does not go after the judge's daughter after the judge made clear that she was off limits or Trump could face possible sanctions. So in this new post, Trump, as you said, he talks about how conflicted the judge is. He said, they can talk about me, but I can't talk about them. That sounds fair, doesn't it? Question marks. This judge should be recused and the case should be thrown out. There has virtually never been a more conflicted judge.
Alternatively, consider the source being Saudi Arabia. Recall Trump's boast during the trial, where he hinted the willingness of Saudis, or a Saudi individual, to pay magnified prices for his properties. This assertion served as justification for the initial price hikes. As Engoron's ruling highlights, Trump's implicit belief that any price is justifiable because a buyer from Saudi Arabia would emerge underscores the blurred lines between business and political interests. But luckily, all these were just rumors, as former President Donald Trump and co-defendants in his New York civil fraud case have posted a bond of $175 million, according to a court filing Monday by an insurance company. And it all proves just rumors against a political figure. The posting brings to an end a 6-week ordeal in which Trump scrambled to fend off possible seizure of property or assets, stemming from a $464 million judgment by a judge who found he gained hundreds of millions through a years-long fraud scheme targeting banks and insurers. Trump was required to post bond to avoid enforcement of the judgment, pending his appeal. The bond was lowered by an appellate court from the $464 million figure to $175 million on March 25th, hours after Trump missed a grace period deadline extended by New York Attorney General Letitia James, whose office brought the case. However, there is still debates going on in electronic media that whether this judgment by an appellate court was required or not.
The narrative of that witness furthered the cause of the Attorney General. What am I saying? I'm saying that there was adjudication of liability after a trial. And as a result of that, the system provides for you to post a bond in the amount that was against you.
So were you surprised they dropped it to 175?
You know what? I was not overly surprised. And I think it's good for the judicial system. And here's why I say that. You have a president repeatedly railing about everyone against him and everything's against me. And I think the system looked at it and said, look, let's be fair. Let's be reasonable. Let's give him an opportunity to have his appeal on the merits while we stop.
Alina Habba, an attorney for Trump, said Trump's payment was made as promised. He looks forward to vindicating his rights on appeal and overturning this unjust verdict, Habba said. In the intricate dance of legal maneuvering, should Trump falter in posting the bond, a high-stakes strategy unfolds with his vast array of assets, be it opulent estates, prestigious vehicles, or even his cherished aircraft, hanging precariously in the balance. Yet, amidst this tangle of legal proceedings, the focal point emerges: Trump's bank accounts, deemed the proverbial low-hanging fruit for shrewd state prosecutors. As elucidated by Peter Katz, a seasoned attorney with a wealth of federal prosecution experience, the process unfolds with a precision akin to a carefully choreographed symphony. Upon receipt of the court's judgment, banks become the unwitting agents of legal enforcement, swiftly transferring funds into the reserves of the Attorney General, leaving Trump's legal team grappling with the complexities of safeguarding his remaining assets. The orchestration of this legal symphony requires the deft hand of state prosecutors who, armed with court orders, must navigate the halls of financial institutions. Adam Pollack, a former assistant New York State Attorney General turned judgment enforcement specialist, paints a vivid picture of legal authority in action, demanding immediate compliance from bank managers, culminating in the issuance of a cashier's check, a decisive move in the chess match of legal strategy. However, amidst the legal intricacies and tactical deliberations, a strategic chess match ensues. Alden B. Smith, a seasoned attorney specializing in debt collection, unveils the underlying strategy. The apparent delay in action serves not as a sign of uncertainty, but rather as a calculated effort to optimize the outcome, as state prosecutors meticulously weigh their options to immobilize Trump's assets swiftly. In this unfolding drama, each legal maneuver serves as a calculated step towards resolution, navigating the labyrinth of legal intricacies with precision and delicacy. So, keeping in mind all the political and legal scenarios involving Trump, a question arises: what is going to be his political career, and to what extent he holds the nerves to contest for the upcoming presidential election of the U.S. To know about every upcoming detail of the case, stay connected with us. Thanks for watching. Sure to subscribe to our channel.